Hi everyone, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Mikey, and in today's video, we're going to talk about how much I made as a small creator in 2024 with less than 15,000 subs. Before we get into it though, I do have a couple disclaimers, or a few disclaimers I want to talk to you guys about because I think it's important. Disclaimer number one, I did lose my job back in January of 2024, which sort of catapulted me or gave me the courage to pursue content creation full time. It wasn't one of those things where I quit my job, my 9-to-5 stable job, to try to make my dreams work, which no hate there, do you, but we'll get a little bit into that more later because I feel like this is going to be a more realistic version of someone who is pursuing content creation full time and what that means, especially financially, because I've been through it. I've been through a whole year trying to make this work. I also want to just give a huge shout out to my husband for allowing me to pursue this for the year and kind of see where it goes and how far I could take it, because without his support, really, I don't know if we would have survived financially in 2024, or at least mentally for me, because knowing he had my back allowed me to kind of take a little bit of that pressure off, because I wasn't feeling like he was breathing down my neck trying to push me to find a job. So it really gave me that creative freedom to go along on this journey and see what I could do as far as a full-time content creator. Disclaimer number two is I did have 2 part-time jobs during this year, which I'm not including in the streams of income in terms of my content creator journey, just because those jobs, you know, they were working for a brand and it wasn't really my content. Yes, I did content for them. I did social media management, marketing, design, as well as just creating content for their own brand's social media channels, but it wasn't me as the face of it. So it feels a little odd to include that in my content creator income journey, since that wasn't for my brand, if that makes sense. And so I'm very fortunate to have that, because if I'm being completely honest with you guys, those 2 part-time gigs I got in 2024 and then the one I'm currently with now into 2025 really was how I was able to survive financially as a creator. Because when we get into it with the streams of income as my own content as a creator for my own brand, it just wasn't really enough. But we'll get into that as we get further in this video, but I just wanted to point that out. So yeah, again, those 2 part-time jobs I won't be including in my income for the year of 2024. Disclaimer number 3 is I did have 5 streams of income for 2024 as it relates to my content. So we're going to go through those 5 streams and we're going to start from the lowest to highest. And then the last disclaimer I want to talk about is this obviously is not about me bragging about how much I made, because there's nothing to brag about, but really I do want to, catch up my community about what's been going on and if I'm going to be continuing this journey into 2025. But then also I really want to give you a realistic picture as a small creator, how much, I made, because I know there's a lot of creators out there who are contemplating leaving their 9-to-5s to pursue this. And I want this to be an eye-opener for you, or at least just data you can gather to see if you are going to make the right decision for yourself. So with that said, let's get into it. Okay, so income stream number 1, affiliate links. For me, I only made $440 in 2024 through affiliate links. If you guys don't know what affiliate links are, they're basically links down in creators' bios or description boxes where if you click on it, we get a little portion of that sale. Sometimes it's pennies to the dollar, so it's not much, but with that said, I could see how it can be lucrative to creators who get tens and hundreds of thousands of views, because for me, again, it was just $440, but as a small creator, that's something. For me, that's like, okay, it took me just putting these links into my description and I generated $440. With that said, I did make a lot of that through Insta360 affiliate program. So if you guys bought an Insta360 camera from one of my links, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. You helped support the channel by just simply using that link. Don't sleep on those affiliate links. Even though I only made $440 for the year, it was simply just me, putting all those links in a document, copying it and pasting it whenever I upload a video. Also, if I ever make it and pull in these numbers, that workflow of putting in those links into my descriptions and stuff like that is already integrated and embedded in my workflow. And so it's really no extra work on my part. All the accounts are set up. It's just as simple as putting a link in your description. So don't sleep on affiliate links. Even though it's my lowest stream of income, I could really see how it could be lucrative, especially if you're pulling in those views. All right, so the second stream of income is coming from Patreon, and I made a total of, so I have my notes right here, of $620 on Patreon. If you guys don't know what Patreon is, but I'm sure you do, it's basically a third-party service that allows you to promote a service or something you can provide to your followers for a subscription cost. Basically, I had 3 tiers on mine. I had a $1 tier just to support the channel, a $5 tier that would grant access to some certain things and marketing materials or just insights on some stuff. And then the third tier I had was a $10 tier where we had a one-on-one session every month. And I limited that tier to 10 people. And surprisingly, 10 people signed up for that tier right away. And I got to know 10 of my subs in a really informal but also formal sort of manner. We got to know each other. I got to know a little bit about you. Some of you opened up about your life, about work, wanted to get some feedback in regards to being in the creative field or just feedback in starting a channel. It was actually really, really fun and took me out of my comfort zone of having these one-on-ones. And I don't know, I really loved it. The only thing though with Patreon is I did decide to cancel/pause it. Those $10 tiers were amazing, but it really took about 2 days out of my month for only generating $100, which didn't really make sense to me. I was like, okay, well, I got to cancel this because it's just not serving me financially in the way that I thought it was going to. Then also as time went on, I realized I wasn't really putting in a lot into Patreon, and it was a disservice to my community to be charging you guys for this membership where I'm not really providing any value. So I put a pause on that. I know if some of you guys are still on there because I am doing a giveaway for my Patreon members who were in that $1, $5, or $10 tier as a thank you. The giveaway, I'll tell you guys the giveaway in the next vlog, but I promise you that giveaway is coming soon. But thank you guys so much for at least like believing me or wanting to support my journey through Patreon. Like I was actually pretty taken aback in regards to how many people signed up to be a member. I was like, whoa. So now I understand if you're a big creator, like get on Patreon. Your people will support you. And as long as you can provide a little bit of value for them, they'll support you. All right, third up in my income stream, which usually this one is on the top of people's income stream, especially if you're a larger creator, pulling in those views with lots and lots of followers. But for me, this was my brand deals, and I made a total of $4,500 with brand deals. When I look at this number, you know, it's a little bittersweet because it's like, oh, I was able to make $4,500 with brand deals. And I didn't really push this. That's one thing I really want to work on for 2025 is my brand deals, because I feel like we shouldn't be sleeping on brand deals. Brands have budgets. They have budgets, okay? Like if you think back in the day when there was no social media, brands were spending tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars on marketing. You're talking billboards, ad placements, magazines, radio, television, commercials. Those were high-end marketing budgets. Those cost a ton. So nowadays they're working more with creators because they're seeing the influence and the power that a creator has with their audience. Okay, finally, number 4 out of 5 income streams. This one is coming from Google AdSense, which if you don't know what Google AdSense is, it's basically what YouTube pays you for showing ads on your videos. So in 2024, I made a total of $5,257.60, which is not a lot considering how many videos I made for 2024. So in 2024, I made a total of 51 videos. And if you divide that by how much I made, that averages about $103 per video I made in 2024, which if you think about the hours of filming and editing, it's really nothing. This is why brand deals are such a big part of how a creator could make money, because you're not getting a lot of money from AdSense. Unless, again, I keep talking about views, but viewership pays the bills. Unless you're raking in those views, you're not really getting a lot from AdSense. Also, I just want to say, from this $5,257.60, a majority of that came from 3 particular videos that did pretty well in 2024. My video of losing my dream job is sitting at... Hold on, let me check. So yeah, my dream job video is sitting at about 126,000 views right now, and that was published in January of 2024. And then I had another Cloud Couch dupe video that I created that's sitting at about 94,000 views. And then my third video that did really well this year was my house tour, and that's currently sitting at 87,000 views. So those 3 videos are really the bulk of how much is coming from that $5,257. So without that, I would have made a lot less, like a ton less in terms of Google AdSense. So this is something I want to touch on later in the video, Google AdSense, because I know there's a lot of creators out there right now, because I got served their videos. They're like screaming about this is how much I got paid this month, etc., which I think could be providing a little bit of a misinformation in regards to sustainability when it comes to being a YouTuber. So we'll get into that a little bit later. And so finally, my 5th stream of income, which ended up being the highest, is UGC. UGC UGC, user-generated content, is basically a brand who will hire you to create them a short-form video that acts as a commercial for their product. Usually UGC videos, there's a script that they give to you. You can collaborate with that script to make it sound more authentic to you as a creator. The script usually has a hook, it has a problem, it has a solution, which is their product, and then you kind of talk about that product, and then you have a call to action at the end to buy the product. So really, it's a little mini commercial. Oh my God, I don't even think I said how much I made through UGC. So I made a total of $19,302 through UGC work. A lot of you guys asked me how I get into UGC. It was really almost a lucky sort of situation. One brand just saw a video I made for some furniture I purchased. They hired me to create some UGC ads. And at that time, I didn't even know what UGC ads were. They just hired me to create videos, which I later found out was UGC. And I created these set of videos for them for an outdoor sofa. And then from there, a couple agencies saw that. They contacted me and was like, hey, would you want to be in our roster? And I was like, of course. Heck yes. So that's sort of how I started my UGC career. And I feel like it's hard to get into it now because so many people are trying to do UGC. So I feel like I was lucky, the timing was right. And I'm very fortunate to be working with one agency in particular. They've been providing me with a lot of work. So with that said, the grand total of my content creator journey in terms of creating content, me behind the camera, me editing, it's my own brand, it's me as a creator, I made a total of $30,119.60, which sounds pretty good, right? As my first year as a content creator, just doing content, that sounds pretty good. But with that said, if you take out UGC, which again, for me, I feel like it was a lucky scenario for me, I would have only had made through affiliate links, Patreon, brand deals, Google AdSense, $10,817.60, which for a whole year, that's nothing, guys. As a creator, that is absolutely eye-opening. And again, it's bittersweet because again, I was able to make at least that much on things I love doing, but that cannot pay the bills. That can't support me and my husband's lifestyle. Yeah. So again, going back to those part-time jobs that I had, I'm really thankful I have them. And so yeah, that's just really something for me to think about going into 2025. So now I want to jump back into the whole Google AdSense of this all, because I think when we think about YouTube, we think about YouTube/Google paying us as creators. We kind of don't really think about the brand deals. We just think, oh, we're going to start a YouTube channel, we're going to be YouTubers, and YouTube's going to pay us. But as you guys saw from this, 51 videos, $5,257.60, averaging about 100 some a video. Take out those 3 videos that did well, we're looking at roughly $30 to $60 per video, which is kind of insane, guys. Like, AdSense does not pay unless you're raking in the views. So just to give you a little bit of information about how AdSense works is there's something called a CPM, which is cost per milli, and that's how much an advertiser will pay YouTube for every 1,000 views you get on your video. So my CPM is I would say pretty high for a vlogger, at least from what I've gathered from reading some YouTube Reddit comments. But my CPM is in the high 20s, like 25 to about 28, sort of in that range. And so basically, if I get a video out and there's 1,000 views on there, whatever ad played, that company or that brand will pay YouTube $25. Let's just say $25. Let's say, okay, sorry. CPMs fluctuate for every video. So let's just say for the sake of this example, let's say I put out a video and the CPM there, cost per milli, is $25. Let's say I put out a video, gets 1,000 views, you saw an ad, that advertiser will pay YouTube $25. From that $25, the creator then gets a cut, which is called RPM, revenue per milli. My RPM fluctuates like crazy, but let's just say for the sake of this example, my RPM for that day was $10. So from that $25, YouTube gives me a $10 cut out of it. They keep the $15. So that's how Google AdSense works. And so earlier I was saying there's a little bit of misinformation going out there from creators who are like, get on YouTube, this is how much I got paid this month, yada, yada, yada. Like, love that for them. That's great. But again, I think it's a little bit misconstrued. And so I want to talk to you guys about that because yes, it's great for that month. Yes, they're getting a lot of views, but like, when I look at a lot of their channels, they're getting these huge views on like how much I made on YouTube. I made this much this month because of this, whatever, right? But then if you look at their normal content and the stuff they like to make, those don't get views. So that tells me it's not sustainable. That tells me the virality of you talking about how much YouTube is paying is doing a little bit of disservice to your channel. And so I see a lot of channels actually die when they have a viral video that has nothing to do with their channel. Like those videos are doing well because the algorithm is showing that to people who have an interest in starting a channel. But once you stop talking about that, does that translate to views for your other content? A lot of times it's not. And so you have to be careful. And I bring this up because a lot of these creators, smaller creators like myself, they're talking about how much YouTube is paying them, but I don't want you guys to think that that's how much you're getting every single video you put out. It's really based on views. And while that video might generate you $1,000, $2,000 that month because it went viral, your next video, if it gets 1,000 views, you're back to 20 some dollars, you know what I mean? So just be careful about that. Again, this is an informative video, just like theirs is informative, but this is, I think, a little bit more on the realistic side of finances when it comes to trying to make money through content creation. I also don't want to discourage you guys from following your dreams or your passions. Just make sure you could back it up. Just make sure you have a safety net. Just make sure that it's not going to put you in a financial situation that's going to make you sad in the long run or make you stressed, because it's not worth it. Following your dreams to be financially stressed, I don't think it's worth it. I think what you should do is follow your dreams while you're working. Keep your 9-to-5 job, especially if you can tolerate it or like don't hate your job. Do this on the side. Keep pursuing it. See where you can take it. Use this as your bonus. Let's say you're at work, you're trying to get a promotion or a bonus, or you're trying to get a higher salary and they're like, sorry, budget cuts, don't have room for that in our marketing, whatever. Take matters into your own hands. Figure out how to make a side stream of income through content. But again, you do you. If you want to if you hate your job and you're like, F this, let's go content. Hey, I'm not here to stop you. I just want to give you a realistic version of this journey through my own experience for having gone through it all in 2024. You know what I mean? So that is the 2024 income content creator journey I had. I wanted to share with you guys. And so with that said, where do we go from here? How is 2025 looking? Honestly, I'm taking my own advice. I need to find a stable form of income. So I'm hoping that the part-time job I have now can turn into some sort of full-time situation, or even because right now I'm doing 20 hours a week for them. Even if I could get that to 30 hours a week, that would relieve a lot of financial burden of me trying to figure out how much money I'm raking in every month. That's the thing too I forgot to talk about is when you're a content creator, your months of income fluctuates. And then finally, the last thing I will say, which I don't think a lot of people think about when they're starting their content creator journey, is you're now a business. You're doing everything behind the scenes. When you have 9 to 5, you just show up, you clock in, you do your work, you go home, and you get paid every 2 weeks. But for a content creator, as a full-time creator, you're not getting paid to do your admin work, to do all your financing, to make sure your taxes are in order, you're saving for taxes, you're calculating all your business expenses and jotting that down so you have it during tax season. You're your own marketing, you're pitching yourself, you're doing your own website, but on top of that, you're still creating and you're still doing the work. It's never ending. If you guys have been following me in 2024, you guys know I keep saying, oh my God, I'm so busy, wah, wah, wah. And I don't say that for people to feel sorry for me. It's just the reality of being a full-time creator. It's like there's so much behind the scenes that go into it as well that you don't really think about. With that said, I kind of loved every minute of it. I had an amazing 2024 despite all the stress. Again, a huge shout out to my husband for being there for me, with me, and not making me feel bad about not having a job. Could I survive 2025 doing this again? Probably not. Without dipping into our savings more. It's time for me to figure out really how to generate more income. And I don't think at this moment that's going to come from YouTube. So yeah, that's, I guess, part 2 of my journey in this vlog life I have with you guys is what's next, right? I don't know. I guess we'll find out together.